What is going on, guys? This is Drew with Profit Monsters. I'm here with my two best friends, Harry Tornado, Josh, and Joey Bada Bing 22, and this is the Triple Thrift Podcast. This is episode 11, baby. Or, I don't know, we never really talked about it, but I guess we could be season 2, episode 1 if we really wanted to be, but I guess that's
Yeah.
up for discussion later. So, you guys let us know if you think it should be season 2 or we should just continue season 1. But anyway, it is Sunday, January 3rd, 2021. Happy New Year, everybody. We are in a new year, new us, new podcast, new friends. Not really. We're still the same. So, but it is a new year. So we're excited. We love doing this podcast. We love hanging out together. And yeah, let's talk some reselling and some YouTube. And we hope you guys enjoy. Josh, you had a crazy end of the year. You put out like 3 YouTube videos in one day.
It
Tell
was
us how that
just
went.
just two. It was just two. I put out the first one. So I filmed one like on the 29th, I think, and then I edited it like half the night of the 29th and then half finished it the morning of the 30th, and I premiered it that morning. And I was like, you know what, there's only 2 more days. I have a whole another day left. I'm like, I'll just vlog today and then edit that. And usually the daily vlog videos are really easy to edit. It's just, clips on my GoPro, just, cutting off a little bit of fat on the end of the clips and just putting them together. So I think I started filming at like 10 that morning. I stopped filming at like 3:30 and then edited for like an hour or so. And then I had the video premiere that night. So that was 2 videos in one day, trying to end the year on a bang. And then I did me and Joey and you, technically you were in there a little bit.
I was in there a
We,
little bit. Yeah,
we did a
I was
6 hour
actually
live stream.
I was working with a real estate client like the whole day, so I was popping in and out. And actually, like, I literally just got an email from that agent because my client submitted an offer, and we're counter offering back and forth literally as we speak. So, if you're watching this on YouTube and you see me look down at my phone, it's because I'm counter offering on behalf of my clients to hopefully get a real estate deal. So let's go, baby. But yeah, that live stream was epic, man. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I got to pop in. And the first time I popped in, I was literally sitting in front of, sorry, I need to mute that. I was sitting in front of the house of the property that I was showing my clients when I popped in. I was in my car. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, man. That 6 hour live stream was like the best day of my life. When Josh told me in the group chat, he was like, "Hey, do you guys want to do like a 6 hour live stream?" And I was like, "What? Like I'm off tomorrow. Like let's do it." I'm super excited. I'm pumped. And we had a really fun time just hanging out, talking to the viewers and stuff. I felt like a live Triple Thrift podcast, but on Josh's channel. So that was fun.
Yeah, I was really pumped when I had the idea. I fully expected you were going to be working because you're always working. And I told you, and you're like, dude, I'm in. I'm like, are you joking? Are you going to call off work or something again? You're like, no, it's my day off, baby. Let's go. And you were there the whole time, man.
Yeah.
Pretty much, I think you came in like 5 minutes after it started, but
Hmm.
for pretty much all 6 hours because we went just over 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it was fun. It was just a really, I don't know, kind of overwhelming. It's
Yeah,
at some points like it's
at the end, like we were just both like drained. Like I could see it
yeah.
both of our eyes.
I mean, you're technically just sitting there, but like just having to sit there for 6 hours and read the comments and try to make sure you're not missing anybody, and it's pretty exhausting.
It's really tough. It really is. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah, I've seen some bigger YouTubers do like a 12-hour live stream or like a 24-hour live stream where they're like gaming the whole time. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, I could not do that.
Yeah.
6 hours was tough. But how is you guys' end of year reselling? Any major sales coming in the week after Christmas?
Go ahead, Drew.
Okay, so yeah, I actually haven't put out the video yet, but I got this insane vintage tool haul where I had a repeat client, I guess you could say, where somebody I made a deal with like 8 months ago and I put out a YouTube video about this whole private pick that I got to go to. She ended up texting me a couple days ago and told me I could come back and pick through it again. And there was like a whole side of the storage unit I hadn't even been on. And so I picked through it. I stuffed my car with vintage tools and parts. The guy who passed away, her husband, had worked for like Chrysler Jeep Dodge for like 35 years. So he had Snap-on, Matco, Mac Vintage tools, sockets, parts, and I was so excited. I went home and like listed 50 items that night. I didn't even record the haul because I wanted to just get it listed because the comps were so good. And
Yeah.
so you'll see the video soon of everything I got, but I've already sold a bunch of it and I've already made more than my money back in less than a couple days. So I'm
So
really excited about that. I've had some pretty good sales. And then just like consistent sales um, throughout the week. Nothing absolutely insane, but just a lot of shoe sales have been good for me lately too. So shoe sales and video games. I'm still selling video games after Christmas, which is pretty interesting.
that's awesome. Joey?
Yeah, I finished off the year with a bang. I sold 3 pairs of shoes. I sold a video game. I sold these Tranquil eyes. I guess they're like a sleep kit, like mask type of thing. Like, but they go over your eyes, kind of like goggles. Thought that was a pretty cool sale. And yeah, I actually sold 5 pairs of shoes. Actually, I sold two in the last 2 days. So it's been awesome. Brand new year. Um, and yeah, shoes have been my most thing that I sold the last. I guess maybe for fitness. I guess people want to get back into the gym and start of the new year. So I feel like shoes are probably a hot commodity right now.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's so funny because I actually had a really good weekend because I didn't ship out on Friday. Friday was closed, right?
Yeah.
So from
Yes.
Thursday until today, I think I sold like 26 or 27 things on eBay. A couple of them were like my print on demand shirts that I sell, so I don't have to actually ship those out. But I think I have about 21 items that have to ship out tomorrow. And I have five 5 pairs of shoes and a video game included. So it's funny that we all sold like the shoe video game mixture.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was ending the year on a bang and then just starting out on the right foot. I've seen so many YouTube resellers posting their goal videos, and it's awesome. Like I love people like making goals and trying to stick with them. It's just funny that like everybody's doing it because I was probably gonna do it, but now I'm like I don't want to do another one. Like people are kind of bored of them. I think I don't know. Have you guys watched a lot of them?
Yeah, I've seen a
No.
bunch of people with some goals for 2021. I was thinking about doing it too because everyone's on the trend right now of doing it. But
Yeah. I
um,
just feel like everybody, like if you're a reseller and a YouTuber, we all have the same goals, like increase your ASP, list more, be more productive, make better videos, hit a certain number of subscribers.
mhm,
Yeah.
Like there's only so much you can shoot for in this business, you know.
yeah,
Yeah, I agree 100%. I actually wanted to put out a video on the first of the year, but I ended up not because things just got crazy for me. We ended up having a party at my house on New Year's Eve last minute, had some friends over, a little smaller thing. There's like probably 8 or 10 of us. And so I was up late, and then the day before was the day I got the tool haul, so I was up till like 4 in the morning listing. So, and then I was up. That was the day I had to show my clients those properties when you were doing the stream, the 6 hour stream. So I got like 3 hours of sleep that night, and so like New Year's Day, I slept until like 11:30 or 12, and then I woke up and we had some family stuff going on, some people in town. So my wife went over to her mom's house and I pretty much fell back asleep for like another 4 hours. I was so exhausted. So when I woke back up, I was looking at YouTube and I noticed like every YouTube reseller had put out a video on New Year's Day, and I couldn't even keep up with how many videos came out. I was like, there's no way I'm putting out a video. It's just never going to get seen. It's just going to get piled under every other reseller's what sold, their goals, like you said. Rally Roots put out a really good video, like their
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 goals.
their goals, but it was like they kind of like started. I think they kind of like started that trend though.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they did it like 3 or 4 days before New Year's, so that they kind of caught it on the wave on the rise for sure.
yeah, but then Ryan also put out a video about like something about 18,
I saw 18
18.
million, something like that.
Yeah, the 18
Yeah,
million
his
or
YouTube
whatever.
income.
Yeah, I started to watch it, and I didn't finish it, but um, anyway, I just saw like all the usuals, Nurse Flipper, Dante, Part Time Pickers, Lonnie, all the guys out there. Everybody put out a video, and I was like, I'm just I'm not gonna compete. I'm just gonna wait, till everybody gets their New Year's videos out, and I got a GoPro on the way, guys.
Oh
What?
my gosh.
So I've been kind of holding out because I wanted to put out more GoPro content once I get that. But man, I could talk for hours right now because I just want to say to Adine and Melinda at Hustlin' Hooks, thank you guys. They bought me a GoPro for no reason. I was literally about to buy one that day, and Adine texted me and was like, "Have you finished purchasing the GoPro yet?" And I was like, "No, I haven't." I'm like, "It's in my cart, but I haven't proceeded to checkout yet," because I was looking at ring lights and some other stuff. And he's like, "Don't do it. Cancel the order." And he sent me a confirmation of a brand new GoPro. So I just want to say thank you to them.
Wow.
They're already at 9,000 subscribers, so they don't need a shout out from me. But you guys are awesome. I love you guys. Thank you so much. You're the best. But
And I
and
want to
then
say, I before you keep going, I want to say thank you to Josh. He bought me on the 6 hour live stream. He bought me the chair that he has in his office. So I just, Josh, I want to say thank you so much,
I
man.
I felt so bad because I was showing off my chair in the live stream, and then Joey pulls up his chair, this like side of the road thing that's as thick as a waffle, not even a Belgian waffle, like a regular
Yeah,
Eggo. And I'm
no,
like,
like
Joey,
like a
you gotta
tostada.
you gotta you gotta get some comfort up in that office, man. So
Thank you,
and then I,
man.
I wanted to I wanted to pay you back because you sat there for 6 hours with me. It was like the least I can do is buy you a chair, and it wasn't like crazy expensive or anything like that, but I think it was an appropriate payment for the amount of work you did. 6 hours work for that chair. And
Thank
then Drew, I saw you sent us a on the Instagram thing, you found the exact chair that both Joey and I have on Facebook Marketplace. Now tell me about that. Did you buy it or was it gone?
well, I didn't because you didn't respond, and I wanted it to be the
I
same one.
know.
I'm just
I
kidding. Yeah,
deleted
I
Instagram
didn't
this
buy it.
weekend.
I didn't buy
you.
it just because I wasn't like available at the time that it became available, so I missed it. But I thought it was pretty funny that that chair popped up and they wanted
Yeah.
$75 for it. I was like, man, I wish I could have got that. But
Well, now that you got the free GoPro, you can just use your GoPro money to buy the chair
yeah, that's right, exactly. So Hustlin' Hooks really bought me a chair too, in a sense.
in a
But
sense. Yeah.
um, so yeah, so wanted to say thank you to them for the GoPro, but I recorded my tool video, the haul video, that will probably be coming out very soon or already out by the time you are listening to this within a week of this coming out. And then I also have a video coming out soon because yesterday, the second, was Joey's birthday. And I had an insane day yesterday, Saturday. I did so much stuff, and then I ended up driving to Joey's house last minute, surprised him at dinner with his family for his birthday, and so I got a little bit of that on camera. So I'm probably gonna make a little shorts type of video, like maybe a 2 or 3 minute video of just me surprising him because I was told by Destiny that they went thrifting all day, and on my way I had like an extra 15 minutes or so. I stopped at a Goodwill and I was like, I'm going to find something at this thrift store that Joey missed and make a YouTube video about it. And I actually found a ton of good stuff. I already shared it with Joey. We were up late, so I was going to do like a little duet with him, having him, look at it. But it turns out he ended up not sourcing it that Goodwill. So
Mhm.
I'm just going to go over the haul and then, share the little birthday surprise. But I got some really, really good stuff.
That's awesome.
So happy birthday, Joey. I hope you had a good time.
Thank you, man. I just Drew, I couldn't even believe my eyes when you walked through Carrabba's when I was sitting there. You guys, I made a YouTube video and Destiny filmed my reaction, and my little brother filmed my reaction on my GoPro. I didn't even know my little brother had my GoPro. Um, but it was just an amazing thing. Like my jaw hit the floor. Like I was just super surprised. Like, thank you, Drew, for driving 2 hours and coming out of your way and just spending time with me and my family. It just really meant a lot to me. So
I will
thank you.
say that if somebody would have invited me, I would have flown. I would not have drove because that's too much
That's
driving. But I
too
would have bought a plane. What's the nearest airport to you, Joey?
West
Because
Palm
you're
Beach.
West Palm. I could probably round trip Columbia to West Palm Beach for a couple $100.
Uh-huh.
I would have been there. So Destiny, if you're listening to this, invite me next year. I'll be there.
That'd be awesome.
Well, what's really funny about that, Josh, is we were sitting at the dinner table and I was like meeting Joey's parents. Joey's dad is crazy. He's amazing.
Yeah, I can
He's
tell in
just
the
full,
videos.
he's full of life. He's so happy. he kept asking me so many questions. I was like, this guy's like my new best friend because
Well, no, you said this is my new dad.
yeah. So, and we were randomly talking, I think Joey and I, and all of a sudden out of nowhere, Joey's dad goes, "Oh, there's Josh." And both Joey and I like stopped everything we were doing and turned around. And like we thought you were legitimately there. And his dad was
Dude,
like,
I
"No, I'm
I
just kidding."
totally, like, 100% I would have been there.
Dude, if you were there,
100%.
Josh, I think I would have screamed like
I
out
know
of
you
my
would have.
lungs, my lungs, dude. Like,
Dude, absolutely. Like, we just have to get together more often because you guys came up, and then when I went to Universal Studios back in November, we hung out, went to SeaWorld that day,
mhm.
and, I don't know. I mean, Florida and South Carolina aren't that far away.
They're really not, if you really think about it. It's just me with just working all the time. I think I'm just gonna have to keep calling out of work so I can get fired.
Keep calling out. With a personality like you, they're never gonna fire you, though, no
Yeah,
matter what you do.
impossible.
So Joey, your live listings that you do on Monday night, just in case people are listening to the podcast and they don't know, every Monday night you and Drew get together on your channel and
Mhm.
you just go live, hang out with people and list as much as you can. I'd say most of the time Drew probably lists more than you
Yeah.
because you're engaging with the audience. But usually I go to bed pretty early. We're recording this podcast. It's currently 9 p.m. on Sunday night, January 3rd, and I'm usually fast asleep by now. But I talked with my wife, and tomorrow night I'm gonna stay up with you guys, and we're
What?
gonna we're gonna list as much as we. I already have a plan for tomorrow. Like I'm filming my daily vlog for tomorrow, all 30 items I've going out, and then instead of listing, I'm just gonna like clean and prep items all day long. So I just have like a whole table of stuff to list in tomorrow's
Let's
live video. So
go, man. You
Joey
got me
was like, "So
super
how long are you
excited.
gonna stay up till like 11 or 12?" I'm like,
I mean,
"Who knows?
yeah.
2, 3? I don't
Joey
know."
Joey normally on work nights when he's not off the next day, he normally lasts till about 11:30, 12 is
Yeah.
like the cutoff. Like
'Cause then
12
I guess
o'clock,
I start
he's
getting
like
exhausted, like,
12 o'clock
you
is
can
pushing
tell.
it for Joey, and he's like reading the messages, and he's like, "Steve, thanks so much, buddy."
But then
Like
in the
he's just
beginning, I'm like, "Let's go! Steve, pick and roll, my man, what's going on?" And then, like,
My
towards
man.
the end, I'm like, "Hey, Steve, like, have a great night. See you later."
Yeah, that's like us at the end of the 6-hour live stream.
Dude, for real.
Oh, man. Fun
Dude,
times,
let's
fun
go,
times.
man. I can't wait for tomorrow. It's gonna be awesome.
So what are you guys' goals for 2021?
Um,
now that none of us are gonna put out a video about it, here
yeah,
it
Yeah,
is.
let's just talk about it in this podcast.
all right, I guess I'll go first. Yeah, man, I'm actually trying to keep a consistent schedule with uploading videos. So I uploaded a video on the first, and then I just uploaded a video today on the third. So I want to keep a consistent upload schedule and like keep up to it. Like don't say like, oh, I'll just do it, the next day. I really want to dig deep, and YouTube is just like my biggest thing right now. And also with listing, I'm starting to come home. I haven't been to work yet from the new year, but when I come home from work, I wanted to at least list like 5 things. Even on my live listing, I'm gonna usually I list like 5 to like 7 things on a good day. But I really want to start listing more so I can keep up with sales. And when I do officially, I know by this year I want to leave the post office and do this full time. I want to have a consistent. I want to have at least maybe 1,000 items. Like I'm not talking like, oh, I'm just going to be pushing items like just to push them. I usually not list. I source really good items. I try to, try to get at least 25 or higher in dollars. So that's my main goal, and I'm really focused on doing that because this is my dream and this is my future, and I want to keep it pushing. So that's my goals, like uploading, in my consistent schedule, and listing a lot more. And I'm definitely going to do it. I have like alarms set on my phone, like saying, "Hey, Joey, list." Like I have all these things planned out, and I'm super excited for 2021.
That's awesome. Drew, you're muted.
Oopsie, sorry, didn't mean to do that. Technical glitch. I saw the mute button on StreamYard, and I thought it was anyway. Never mind. So my goals. The first one is obviously I think like we were talking about earlier. Everybody wants to grow their YouTube channel, so I definitely want to step that up once I get this GoPro and this ring light. Hopefully I can get I was supposed to have the electrician come out before the end of the year. He kind of flaked on me, so I got to get my shed finished. So hopefully I'll have that done before the end of January. Like I want to get it insulated and electricity running through it and have it completely organized. I'm probably about 95% of the way there, but I just got a couple things that I need to finish organizing and getting straightened out inside the shed. Um, I would realistically like to hit about 25K in subscribers by the end of this year. I want to be completely debt free. That's my biggest goal, is to be completely debt free by the end of this year. And so what that entails for me, just so you guys can hold me accountable, because I don't really have any reason not to share. I have a small credit card, a small line of credit, and then my mortgage. Um, and so, like, I really don't have a lot. My credit card, I think, is about, I'd have to look, about 4,000 right now. My line of credit is about 3,800, and then I think I owe about 38,000 left on my mortgage. So my cars are paid off. I don't have any other debts other than that. The shed was paid for in cash. Hashtag eBay paid for this, right,
Yes,
Joey?
sir. Yes, sir.
So I don't have a whole lot of debt. I have about 8,000 or so in basic debt, and then I have my mortgage. So, and I also have some real estate stuff that I'm working on. So if I can get some clients, build back up my real estate profile a little bit so I can focus on paying off my mortgage, I definitely think I can hit those goals, especially with YouTube and reselling. Um, I've done pretty good numbers for uh, my technical first full year of reselling was 2020, like January 1st to December 31st, because I
Yeah.
started in like March of 2019 full
Hmm.
time. So 2020 was my first full year. And I think I crushed my goals pretty well. So as far as numbers, I wanted to hit. So I'm shooting for the moon. I'd like to do 150K in gross sales minimum on all platforms combined in 2021. And then I want
That's
to take
awesome.
my wife. I want to take my wife on a very nice vacation in the summertime because our 10-year anniversary is this year. So
Nice.
Aw,
I want to take her either somewhere like either to like Europe or do like an Alaskan cruise if stuff like that opens back up.
Sweet.
that's awesome. Um, I'm right there with both you guys. Like I don't, I don't,
A million
I don't know
subscribers on YouTube, no big deal.
no. Um, I mean, I just want to keep. I kind of want to keep steady here. Like YouTube, obviously, I want to hit 100,000 subscribers because that's when you get the plaque, and that's cool. And I was talking with Blake Knobloch. He's like, "Why? Why? It's just like an arbitrary number." I'm like, "Yeah, I get it. It's not going to change things, but it's just like it's the goal. I think once I hit 100,000, like I'm not gonna like I don't think I'm ever going to get a million. So there's no other like really goal to shoot for. Like I guess you could get to 200,000 or 500,000 maybe, but I'm not really focused. It's same with Instagram. Like one of my goals this year was to hit 10,000 followers on Instagram just so I could have the swipe up feature.
Hmm.
And once I did that, like I mean, I still get followers, but I could care less. Like that is the last thing on my mind is getting more Instagram followers. Like they're going to come organically from the YouTube channel, but it's not a there's no point in it. I've already got the swipe up feature, and there's no play button for Instagram followers. So I'm just going to keep at it with YouTube. I know that subscribers will come organically. I think in December I got about 10,000 new subscribers, and I'm currently at like 81,000. So I don't think my growth in January and February is going to be anywhere near what it was in December. I'm still going to post consistent videos, but December is just a really hot month for YouTube in terms of income and just growth. So I'm thinking it's going to take until at least March or so, maybe even April before I hit 100. But again, it I know that's going to happen. Like I know as long as I'm consistently uploading and connecting with an audience, I'm going to get there. So it's not like something I need to change. I just keep doing what I'm doing. And it's going to happen. Um, so YouTube
Yeah,
is
you
just
were
kind of
grinding. You were grinding in December, man.
yeah. I think in a previous episode of the podcast, I told you guys I wanted to do 15 videos in December, and I think I did 18. I think
Awesome.
Wow.
either 17 or 18, plus like 3 or 4 live streams. So it was good. It was my best month ever on YouTube in terms of income as well. Um, and then some personal goals. I would like to get out of debt this year, everything except the mortgage. I don't know how much we owe on the mortgage, but a lot more than we could pay off this year. But we just paid off my car, so we still have my wife's car to pay off, which is like 11,000, I think. And then we have our two student loans. I think mine's like 22,000, and my wife's like 11,000. So we should have all three of those paid off in, I'd say, about 6 months or so, really depending on the YouTube income. YouTube income is so much more unpredictable than reselling. Like I know if I go out and list consistently, like I'm gonna make between $5,000 and $8,000 a month gross on eBay. Like that's what it was pretty much every single month this past year. My style of sourcing, like thrift stores, yard sales, Amazon pallet stores, like unless I come across a crazy deal, like it's going to be $5,000 to $8,000 a month. Maybe I'll hit 10. I might have a $4,500 a month or something, but we're going to try to avoid those in 2021. So I think that's much more predictable. YouTube, I don't know. Like this past year, I think like the first month we were in quarantine, I only made like $600, like for the whole month of YouTube. Um, and then the next month I did a video every day, and I still only made like $1,500. So there's been a huge disparity in my YouTube income this year, from my worst month to my best month. So there's really no telling when it comes to YouTube. Uh, so I don't know. Some other person, I'd like to just be a little bit healthier this year. I don't have like a weight loss goal or anything, but just to, I don't
Drink
know,
more water,
exercise.
drink less bang.
Yeah, I've already cut back on the bang, the energy drinks, but I don't know. I don't really have like a number goal in mind. I feel like I'm a fairly healthy person. Everybody's body type is different, but I do know there's some room for improvement for sure.
Mhm.
Uh,
This may be a little bit of an exposing, so hopefully it doesn't come across that way. But
Now
didn't
expose
didn't
me.
didn't last year you put out a video and you're like, I think it was right at the beginning of quarantine or something, and you were like, I'm gonna start working out every day. I'm gonna
Hmm.
record it so you guys can keep me
Yeah.
accountable. And you went to the gym for like 2 or 3 days, and then I never saw another gym video.
Yeah, you're like the first person that said something about it, so nobody kept me accountable. I kept going to the gym for I guess about 2 months. I just stopped filming it because I don't know, I just stopped filming it. I got my mile down to under 10 minutes. I was at like a nine. I think my fastest mile was like 9:15 or so. Um, and then it just started the typical, you know, New Year's goal. Like I skipped one day, and then I tried to run again the next day, and then it was harder, and then I skipped 2 days, and eventually got to where I haven't ran in 6 months probably.
Has it been that
Uh,
long? Was it New Year's last year?
Yeah, I think it was the beginning of last year. That's when everybody
Wow.
does their goals.
Mhm.
I
Um,
remember that video and I was like, man, I really should keep Josh accountable to this because we weren't really like friends at the time. But I'm like,
yeah,
usually the motivating type that's like, come on, man, you got this. But then I didn't want to be the guy on YouTube going, how come you're not going to the gym anymore?
yeah.
So I didn't.
I,
And then
I
we
posted.
became
I kept
closer
posting
friends.
about it on Instagram. I think I kept my Instagram audience updated a little bit more than YouTube. But still, you're literally the first person to. I think I've seen a couple. Like even in my video last week about my productivity, some guy was like, "So when do you work out?" I'm like, you got me."
You pick things up and you put them down in your garage.
Yeah, that day, like, yeah, I didn't work out that day, but dude, oh my gosh, like, I just was straight like going the whole day. Like, I wish I would have worn my Fitbit that day because I definitely had like probably 20,000 steps. Just I did so much that day. But I do know I need to. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have goals because goals for me, I'm not a goals person. Like usually when I make goals, I don't hit them. So I'm just like, let me just
Roll with the
just run
punches.
my business and adjust how I see fit. Obviously, just be healthier, continue YouTube, list every day.
I,
I'm
I
not
I'm kind of the same way. I just focus on more just trying to be better today than I was yesterday. And if I can do that in any way, shape, or form, then I'm hitting my goals. That's the way I look at it because I don't, there's people like Grant Cardone out there who says, like, 10x your life, 10x your goals. So if your goal is to get 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, set a goal to make, a million subscribers on YouTube. And then 100,000 doesn't seem so hard to hit if you're reaching for a million.
yeah,
And for me, I'm just not that type of person that wants to. I'm not necessarily saying I feel like it limits me. It's just like my mental way I think doesn't allow me to work harder when I'm saying, like, okay, I need to list, 50 items a day, because you could list 50 bouncy balls a day for 99 cents each, or you could list
Mhm.
50 quality items that are going to actually sell. You could go to the bins and pick 50 t-shirts and list them and they're never going to sell. So there's certain, not characteristics, that's not the right word, but um, certain reasons why those things don't work for me, because I don't think about them in the sense of like a quantity or a quality. I think of it as, if I'm making more money than I was. Like when I first started reselling in 2019, my goal was to net $150 a day, which means I would net take home $1,000 a week in taxable income.
Yeah.
So, after fees and costs of goods, net 1,000, and then there's taxes after that. So if I could do that, then I would be doing pretty good. After taxes, I'd be taking home probably around 700, $750 a week. And with our style of living, like that's something we could do while we were building up the business if we were frugal in certain areas. And we pushed really hard. We paid off a lot of debt last year, because my wife and I, um, we don't live above our means in many aspects. Like you won't see me wearing hype shoes, or you won't see me wearing,
Unless you got them at the thrift store.
yeah, you won't see me rocking brand new GoPros because I'm too cheap. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. But so anyway, all that being said, just try to be better than I was yesterday. You know, One thing that I want to be better at every day is sleeping. Like I have a very bad sleep schedule because some nights I'm up late listing, some nights I go to bed early. I have some lower back issues, so sometimes I sleep on the couch because I can't get comfortable. And then those days I wake up and I don't want to do anything, So I gotta figure out some stuff to get physically better sleep at night so that I can wake
Yeah.
up and be as productive as possible each day. I want to be a morning person like you guys, and I'm not naturally a morning person.
Dude, you know who is a morning person? Is my wife. She wakes up at 4 a.m. every single day. Well, 6 days a week. She doesn't wake up that early on Sundays. 6 days a week. And like me, when I wake up, I've got to take some time, to, like rub my eyes and stuff. She wakes up, goes to the bathroom, turns on all the lights, like immediately just gets dressed and goes to work out in the garage. And it's not like a 30-minute workout. Like she works out for like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Like then she goes to, eats 3 eggs for breakfast every single day, sometimes some yogurt in addition to that, reads her Bible, and then goes to work at 6:30. And then that's usually when I wake up is 6:30 when she goes to work is when I'm waking up. And I just can't wake up that early, man. Like
She's a
I
beast,
think
man.
that
Wow.
she is a beast for sure. I think there's so many people that I don't know. Like we live in this society where success is like, oh, you got to wake up early and read a lot of books. But I'm like, there's a lot of people that wake up at 9. You don't have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be successful. You can wake up at 9 and just go to bed later. Like you still have the same amount of time. Like everybody's not a morning bird or morning worm, morning bird, morning worms from my video last year. Uh, but yeah, I mean, like I don't know. You're definitely a night owl compared to me. Like I'm not a
Early
morning
bird.
bird,
That's the term.
early bird. I'm not an early bird like my wife, but I'm an early bird compared to you.
Well,
Yeah.
the funny thing is, like, I stay up late with Drew, and then once you text me, like in the group chat in the morning, like I'm awake talking to you, and then Drew's
Yeah.
sleeping. So like I go to bed late
And
and
you
wake up
you have your
early.
conversations with Drew at night
Yeah,
when I'm sleeping, and you and I have our conversations in the
in the
morning
morning.
when Drew is sleeping.
Yeah. So I think
So
that's really
Drew, when do you and I have our conversations?
when I'm working. Uh,
That's right. That's right.
Let's
So
see.
if you guys could only, I'm thinking, like I said, I'm not really a goal oriented person. Like if it's never, there was a time in my life when I lost like 60 pounds. Like my heaviest I was ever was like 230, and then I got down to 170. Actually, got down to like 165, and now I'm back up to like 200. But like that wasn't like a goal. Like my goal wasn't to get down to 170 pounds. I was just
Trying to be fit.
just trying to be fit. I was playing frisbee with my friends like 3 days a week, 3 to 5 days a week, honestly, like getting out there for 3 or 4 hours a day when I had free time in college. And it wasn't like, I don't know, it just worked. And now I'm at a whole different place in my life where I don't have, I mean, there's still a group playing frisbee, but I'm like the old guy now, I don't really fit in anymore. So I don't know. I'm thinking that a person like me who hasn't had a lot of success with setting goals in the past, if you just focus on one, like if you guys had to pick one goal for 2021, not like get out of debt and list more and do this and that, like one goal, what would be your most important goal that you would focus 100% on?
Um, It's so hard because like I just want
Yeah.
YouTube so bad, but like I feel like listing probably on eBay would probably be my first priority to get my, just my eBay store because that's what I want to do, full time is to be an eBay reseller. But I also want YouTube, but I would have to say my first thing is, listing and going sourcing and doing
Yeah.
eBay stuff.
And that's just the order. Like once you get to 750 active listings, then you can kind of put eBay on autopilot, listing 5 things a day, and then you can shift your focus to YouTube.
Hmm.
Because I think you have the personality and honestly the following right now to easily get to the point where you're making more money on YouTube than you are on eBay, even with 750 or 1,000 listings.
Hmm.
So that's I get that for sure. True.
I think becoming debt free, including my mortgage, is the biggest goal for me. And I think if I focus on becoming debt free, I'll be able to hit all my other goals through focusing on that goal because everything will come from that one goal for me. Like, because obviously, to become debt free, I have to list more on eBay, I have to source smarter, I have to bring my average sales price up, I have to sell, my sell through rate has to grow. I have to make more money on YouTube, put out more videos, edit more videos, put out better content, all the things that are going to generate revenue for me, work harder in my real estate business and those types of things. Um, I think all of those are going to come from me focusing on getting debt free. Um, and I've just, I, I loathe having debt. Like I can't stand the fact that I'm making monthly payments on anything. And we're so close for, people in our position. Um, to have very minimal debt to potentially be completely debt free by the end of the year. I think
Yeah.
that I can, definitely hit it. I mean, realistically, I have to, you know, be able to pay my bills and my regular lifestyle, which is, I guess you could say we're pretty minimalist for the most part, and pay about $50,000 or so in debt. That's including what's left on the mortgage. So, I basically got to make enough money to provide for my family and then make another 50,000. And if I can do that, then it's game on for 2022. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm going to push real hard this year to, to be very, very diligent with my finances and that any extra money that comes in or, whatever, I'm going to try to pay off as much debt as possible. I was a little more loosey goosey with it last year because I was building up the eBay business. I paid for the shed. That was $8,600 that we could have used towards debt, but we decided to buy the shed instead of pay off debt.
I think that was a better purchase. That's
Right.
just
We thought
only
it
going to
was a
help you.
better investment. So now I could have financed the shed and then paid off the debt, but the interest rates weren't really like an issue where it was going to be that big of a difference.
Hmm.
Um, where I had earned it, through eBay in my savings account
Yeah.
to
And
just
at least the shed's paid off. Like I see so many people getting sheds and stuff in their yard doing that rent to own thing. Like we'll deliver a shed to your yard and you pay us $20 a week and it's fine. But they don't tell you that you got to pay that for the next 35 years. And then if you miss one payment, they're going to come repossess it.
or they
So that,
jack
that's
that's one of the things with those companies is like they jack up the interest rate if you miss one payment and if you don't, you know, even if it's like $25 a week and you for some reason overdraft, your interest rate goes from 1.9% to 18.9%,
hmm
So
That's crazy.
we just thought that for our situation, it was better to pay cash for the shed and just continue to pay down our debts like we are. And I think I'm gonna hit my goals for sure. My goal, if I had to choose one, I'm gonna
that's
hit it
awesome.
this year. I don't think I'm going to
Yeah, that's awesome. So I was trying to think about my answer while I was listening to you guys, and
meet Graham Stephan.
that would be really cool. That'd be really cool. Uh, I don't know. I was thinking about like priorities, and for those of you listening, I feel like most people probably know. I don't really talk about it all the time, but I'm a Christian, and obviously as a Christian, I'm going to say like my priority is like my walk with God, like my relationship with Jesus. But to be honest, like most Christians, I don't always like my actions in my daily life don't always reflect that priority. Like I'll say that, my relationship with Jesus is the most important thing in my life, but the first thing I do in the morning is check YouTube, see how much money I made, or like respond to Instagram messages. So I think if I had to pick one goal in 2021 to pursue, it would be to finish reading the Bible, it was my goal last year to read the whole Bible, because I feel weird like saying I'm a Christian and I've never actually read the entire Bible. Like, how can you say that you're an actual Christian? Like, I believe everything in this book. I just haven't read any, like, all of it yet. So that's just been a big like conviction for me. Last year I made it probably like 5 months. Like I missed a few days here and there in 5 months. And then same thing with running. Like I skipped a day and then skipped 2 days and then I skipped a week. And then I was like, gosh, I might as well just quit. Like I got to like, August or September and I was like, man, I'll just start next year. It's fine. So I'm gonna start like this year where I left off last year. So I'm already starting, 4 months ahead. So hopefully I can finish it by what, July, something like that. I haven't done the exact math, but I really want to put some more priority on that, because that I say that's my priority. I just want my actions to match what I say.
Your character.
Yeah,
That's awesome. That's really inspiring because I can relate to you on that. But for me, like I hate reading and
yeah,
I've
I do
never been
too.
a good
I
reader.
don't read. I actually listen to it like on the Bible app. I just
Yeah.
like there's like an audiobook you can listen to. Yeah, I hate reading too.
And it's not that I hate reading the Bible, I just hate reading in general. Like
Yeah,
I can't sit on a couch and read because my mind starts thinking about YouTube videos I need to make, items I need to be listing, family things I got to take care of, cleaning the house, doing laundry, stuff in my shed. And so I can definitely relate to you on a lot of those convictions. I before COVID and stuff, like I was very involved in serving in my church in different areas and stuff. And obviously the quarantine has made me become a little bit more introverted when my personality is naturally extroverted. Like you
yeah,
won't see it in these podcasts or in my YouTube videos, but in my personal life, I used to always be like, "Hey, let's go play frisbee. Let's go to Dave and Buster's. Let's go out to eat. Let's come over and watch a movie. Like let's have friends, let's hang out." And now I'm like, I don't care, if I have any friends because I have online friends,
yeah,
and so but my relationship with God and my convictions there have fallen short in a lot of areas of me just spending time with God as well, and pursuing that as my number one most important thing. So
yeah.
I can I
And
can
we're not.
relate and agree to those goals as well.
Yeah, and we never want to get preachy or anything like that. I think what we're both getting at is like whatever you say your priority is. Like if you like whatever is most important to you, just make sure your daily actions reflect that. Like if reading your Bible is the most important thing to you, that should be the first thing you do when you wake up. If losing 20 pounds is the most important thing to you, working out should be the first thing you do when you wake up, or at least do it every single day. I think the issue is when we say that I want to make more money on eBay, like that's my goal this year, and then you don't list anything like at all, or like 1 to 5 things a week. Like obviously, it's not your goal. Like if you don't want to list on eBay, if you don't want to work out, if you don't want to read your Bible, that's fine. But don't say it's still a priority when your actions don't reflect that.
I agree 100%.
Joey,
Joey?
No, I agree with you. Yeah, and I going with the preachy thing. I'm Catholic, so it's the same, terms of what you guys are talking about, but I haven't been to church since high school. So, it's been a really long time. And I talked to Drew. I've talked to Drew about it late at night, and I really probably want to get back into that as well. I just, you know, I don't know. It's been tough for me, just really busy. I used to work every Sunday morning for Amazon, which was, I work for the post office, but we used to do Amazon. It's called Amazon Sunday. We used to do packages, and ever since I started work, like doing work on Sundays, I would never go. So like I'm kind of in that same mindset where I just don't go. So
yeah,
that's been tough on me. But But yeah, man, I would love to go back to church and get that going again.
Yeah, I was like before I met Haley, I grew up Baptist. I don't know why we keep talking about religious stuff.
Sorry.
Anyway, podcast. It's our podcast. We can talk about what we want. I grew up Baptist, and then when I left and moved to Columbia to go to college, like I don't know. I tried a couple churches here and there, but it's weird. Like moving somewhere where you don't know anybody else. Like it's hard as a young person, especially to like blend in somewhere. So I just stopped going. For probably 5 years, 4 or 5 years. I mean, I went occasionally, a couple times a year. If I visited my parents, I went to church with them. But I didn't get back into church really until I met my wife, and then we started going to her church, and it's just awesome. Like even I don't know, like to avoid like the spirituality of it, like just having like a large group of people in your life. Like our church has probably 300 members or so, and so just becoming a member there and like actively participating and like building relationships with other people, that's 300 people now that I have relationships with that you can go to for advice or support if you're ever just down in life. So I think I don't know. I just really love our church family and like what going to church every week. Well, our church stopped services again now because of COVID, um, but just usually, having that outlet of support to go to just get refreshed and revived spiritually and
Mhm.
emotionally once a week, at least once a week, it's just been really really good for our marriage and our lives. And um, I don't know. Again, not preaching,
Yeah.
just sharing my own personal testimony here.
That's really cool. This is giving you guys a little bit of an opportunity, with these podcasts too, to get to know us a little bit better and deeper too, because we don't want to just be, people that, you know, think we're better than anybody,
Yeah.
or try to act like we're these big people because we have a podcast or anything. We're just three regular guys that love what we do, and we love sharing that, and we've uh, developed friendships through it, and we're just kind of like sharing our journeys and our experiences, and we hope that they help you. And so, with all that being said, we just hope that you guys, are inspired and encouraged and motivated by the things we say, and you relate it to your life, however that works for you. And if you, just putting it out there too, if you ever do need to talk to any of us about anything, I'm sure all of us would be here to listen. If you had something going on, or if you wanted to ask questions about something. None of us are perfect. We don't claim to be God or anything like that. But if you ever had any spiritual questions, I can speak for myself. Like, I would be more than happy to talk to you, um, or anything like that, or pray with you or pray for you. And, obviously on each guy's personal convictions about those things, you can reach out to them directly or personally for those. But, we're just here for you guys, and we want you guys to, just think of us as regular people sharing our lives. We don't claim to be holier than thou, or better than anybody else. We just we love what we do, and that's why we're sharing it. So
Well said.
Amen.
Well said, brother.
So we
so
have about 12 more minutes here, and honestly, I'm just really pumped for tomorrow. Like I have so much work to do. I sold my truck. I forgot to tell you guys I
What?
sold my
No
yeah
way.
a viewer. So if you remember a couple weeks ago when I went into Dream Deals on Philibag Day, that guy that was his name's Cal, and
Yeah.
he was like, "You're the tornado guy,"
Yeah, yeah.
and he was like in my video. And I saw him at Dream Deals this past weekend. So I went to Dream Deals this past weekend, and I didn't take my camera because I'm like, I took basically 3 days off, like deleted Instagram, didn't post any YouTube content.
You
I was like,
deleted
I'm
us
just gonna
out
go
of your life.
deleted you guys out of my life, and I was like, I'm just gonna go to Dream Deals just to recreation, just a shot. And it turned out to be like one of the best days ever. So I'm like, dang, I didn't film any of it, but I met Cal there, and he's like, hey, I saw your truck in your last video, and I was like, yeah, and he was like, I might be interested in it. So he came over and took a look at it and sold it to him for $250.
There you
That's the
go.
best deal.
that's a
It
great
took us a
deal.
while to get it started. I've had to pump up the tires. It I know people listening to this podcast probably think that's a really cheap deal, and I guess it was cheap, but it just had a lot of issues. And honestly, I just wanted it gone out the driveway. Like the driveway space was worth taking the loss on the truck.
Mhm.
Um, but that's probably like this weekend was pretty productive too. I sold the truck. We got the garage a little bit cleaned up. My wife got some this like pulley system. She's like building a gym in the garage. She got this like pulley system, like has like a lat pull down bar and like the tricep stuff and all that, whatever. And we had to mount it somewhere. So I had to go borrow my neighbor's ladder, and we hooked it up to the ceiling in the garage, and I installed that for her. And I don't know, it's just got a lot of stuff done. But
Nice.
thinking about tomorrow and like all my orders I got to pack up and making the video and then doing the live stream, like with you guys, I don't know. I'm still feeling pretty motivated. My motivation usually wears out pretty quickly, but
Awesome.
just
I
I
think
don't
it's
know. I'm
because
just
of us. I think it's both of us saying like, "Let's
yeah,
go, baby!" Like, just keep it rolling. Like you're doing awesome. I'm
it
glad
is
you're
really fun.
feeling this motivational, productive. Josh. I like it. I love it. Let's
Yeah,
go.
Dude,
I think
tomorrow, if all of us are listing, tomorrow's gonna be crazy. Like, you're gonna have to make a good thumbnail, Joey, and it's gonna have to be like Drew versus Harry Tornado, who can list more, and then like
yeah, because
make
we
the
know
thumbnail
Joey's
like
not going to
make the
list.
thumbnail like a wrestling match. Like take Stone Cold Steve Austin and like Sting's bodies and put our heads on it, and then put your head as like a
The
referee,
referee. That'd be awesome.
I like
and
that
then
idea.
and then
I'll share the live stream on my like community page on YouTube, so we should have a good amount of viewers there too.
Let's do it.
say something, like if Harry Tornado lists more than Profit Monsters, he will give away a blank, and then we'll do like a $5 Starbucks gift card or something.
Well, Josh said he was going to be prepping all of his items. I mean, unless he wants to list, that's up to
Oh,
him.
if Josh is prepping, I'm
No,
prepping,
I'm
baby.
prepping. I'm prepping tomorrow during the daytime.
Oh,
So
okay.
like I'm
I got
filming
it.
my video. I'm filming the video. It's just tomorrow's vlog's probably just going to be like what sold over the weekend, because after I go through like 30 items I'm sending it out, it's already going to be like a 30-minute video as is. So I got to edit that, premiere it, or edit that, and then prep items all day, then premiere that video, and then do the live stream. So I don't know. I mean, does it start at 9?
9
Yeah.
p.m. Yeah.
Yeah. So just say 9 to 11, 2 hours. Like I could probably only list like 20, 25 items or so.
I like it.
Maybe 30. I don't know.
Let's go.
We'll see.
If they're batched and ready to go and you're not cross listing, you should be able to hit 25 pretty easily.
Yeah.
I normally hit about 20 to 30 on a listing on a live with Joey, and I'm listening to comments. I'm smacking my face with priority boxes. Going crazy playing Guitar Heroes with Joey. So
Yeah.
anyway, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward
Pumped,
to
man.
having you.
Let's go, baby.
Let's
Let's
go.
go. So
Now I got to go to sleep.
I,
I want to go to sleep.
I've got plenty of stuff I can list from flea market and Goodwill, and still some tools and stuff left. Speaking of which, I just made a sale on one of my tools for $120 plus shipping.
Nice.
So
Dude, tools are so profitable. Like if you don't know anything about tool like Matco and Snap-on, I did this private pick one time at this guy's garage, and I bought like a Snap-on timing light.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what that is, but it was like $20 and it sold for like $180, like the same day I listed it, which was like 6 months later, because it just sat in my death pile forever. But that stuff sells quick once it's listed.
Yeah,
I'm already in the profit, and it's been less than a week since I picked all that stuff up, and
Yeah,
I've almost doubled my money already on my investment, what I paid.
that's awesome.
I know this isn't tools, but Destiny on my birthday, she picked up this VCR. It was a Panasonic, brand new in the shrink wrap. She listed it on eBay today, like at 4 o'clock, and at 4:30 she had it sold literally. And there was none listed. Well, there's listed of like it pre-owned, but none
Mhm.
like brand new. And we looked in the 90 days, it wasn't there. And then I was like, what I was thinking about a price, and I was like, just do $249.99, with shipping. And
Yeah,
dude,
maybe.
she sold it for $249.99 with shipping. I was like,
How much?
what?
How much did she
Yes.
pay again?
$4. I was
That's
like,
crazy,
what?
dude. Like sealed stuff like that is so incredibly rare. Drew, was it you that found the sealed Nintendo Wii at a thrift store this past summer? I saw somebody on Instagram found like one of the black ones, like
Mhm.
completely sealed, and it just blows my mind when that happens. 'Cause I'm like, who buys a Nintendo Wii and doesn't open it
Yeah.
and just donates it to a thrift store. I do not understand why people buy it such expensive items. Like that VCR was probably $300 when it was
Yeah.
new,
Yeah.
and they just bought it and never opened it.
Yeah. It's
So
crazy.
sometimes with the expensive stuff, maybe not a Nintendo Wii, but I've had experience with buyouts from other people where like corporate offices buy stuff for equipment for their companies, and
Yeah.
then they either bought too many, or they can use it as a tax write-off to donate the ones they don't use. Like I had this deal, and we can slowly start to close it out. I had this deal where I went to a guy's office who they were liquidating everything, and it was like a what's it called? Like a not a secure some type of security for the government where they would like play back and watch videos of like crime scenes and stuff. And so there was like DVD, VHS combo TVs, like the flat screens with the DVD, VHS built into it,
I've got 2
computers,
of those in my garage.
yeah, computers, printer ink, like unused stuff because like they had to print out copies of frozen frames of videos of crime scenes and stuff from
Mhm.
red light cameras and all sorts of stuff. And so there was tons of toner, and they gave it to me all for free. And then he said, hey, just pay me what you think is worth, like kind of on a commission. And I was like, why do they have so much printer ink? And they say, well, you never know when you're going to need another one. So these corporate companies just buy hundreds of dollars worth of it so that it's there if they ever needed it. And then they moved office locations and didn't want to take anything with them. So
Wow.
sometimes that's how stuff like that I think ends up getting donated, is big companies like that just want it gone, and they
Yeah.
like tell Habitat for Humanity, just show up with a box truck and take everything you can fit, because they can just use that as a tax write-off. So I have a friend who
It's
does that
interesting.
for a business.
Hmm.
He empties out corporate offices, and he doesn't charge them to do it. Like if a corporate office is upgrading or downgrading sizes of a building,
Mhm.
he'll go in and take out all the dry erase boards, the chairs, the desks, the electronics, vacuum clean, make it, real nice for the landlord. And the only condition is he doesn't charge the company, but he gets to keep everything inside. And then
Yeah.
he sells everything. So he's got a warehouse and he sells all the office furniture. It's called like Office Furniture Liquidators or something is his company, but it's a really good deal for the companies because they don't have to spend money and they get rid of everything they don't want.
Yeah.
And then he makes a killing on it.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, I don't just sealed stuff, man. Joey, how much were the sold comps on the used versions of that DVD or that
Just
thing?
just like any kind of like VCR. It was at like $59.99 free shipping, So,
Yeah.
any
Because
kind
I
of
mean, there can be significant difference
Oh
between
yeah.
sealed and
See,
because
like
I think it was. Go
I
ahead.
I just didn't know like what to price it at, It's just such
Yeah.
that you're the only one with it, So
Yeah.
the
I mean,
sell-through
the rule
rate,
is you can always drop the price later, but you
yeah,
can't you can't. So just the fact that it sold so quickly, it makes me feel like you probably could have got like
a little bit
maybe
more.
350 for it.
Yeah. So
'Cause I remember Allison, Big Thrift, she found like one of the Magnavox combo units, like the recorders,
wow.
brand new sealed, like in the box. And those are like $250 on Amazon used,
Yeah.
I want to say she got like $500 for it,
Wow,
I
dude.
think.
That is
well,
awesome.
It's
and you know who else did that is Hustlin' Hooks. One of their biggest sales of 2020 that I remember them sharing was a uh, a DVD combo unit. I believe it was either DVD combo unit or a VCR, but it was like one of the rare ones. I don't know, like a Sony or a Zenith. I don't remember what brand it was, but it was brand new, sealed in the box. They picked it up off Facebook Marketplace for I want to say somewhere between $20 and $40,
mhm,
and they sold it for $900.
Oh
So
crazy.
my.
so I don't think that with like don't lose sleep over it, Joey, but when in doubt, always list high, especially if you're the only one. I mean,
Yeah.
240, 250 compared to 50 is still pricing high in my opinion. Like I
Yeah.
probably would have priced it somewhere around there because I've sold one or two
No, Drew would have put 7.99 on that.
Would have been like
probably
1,000.
probably.
No, but see,
Yeah.
like I
I
just
mean,
didn't know.
you can't
I
complain about that kind of profit. What's
But that's a
what's the
beautiful
percentage
sale.
on that? $4 into 250.
Yeah.
Hold on. 250 is
And it was a
6,250% profit.
like that's nuts. Like you can't beat that. And then like I was
Now just
talking
do that.
I called my dad on the phone. I was like, "Dad, like, look what we just did. You know, we found this at the thrift store together, and because my dad was with me, and we sold that." And my dad's like, "You guys might as well just quit your job now and just keep going." But I'm like, you got to build up towards that. He's just joking around, but
Yeah,
um,
yeah,
But
but it's just so
imagine if
exciting.
you were going to thrift stores every day and you were starting to find stuff like that.
Dude, like it
yeah.
drives me insane, like how bad I would want to do that because it can happen. It definitely can happen.
I think I think if you like if I didn't have YouTube to like focus on and I was just trying to make as much money as possible as a reseller, I would go to thrift stores Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Yeah,
Like if there's a thrift store open, I'm there. And then at nighttime when the thrift stores close, that's when I would clean, test, and list. Like I realized that last year. I think I was like, why am I cleaning this VCR at 2 o'clock in the afternoon? Like there's thrift stores open right now.
yeah,
Like like it's just a better use of your time. So I think with you, like if you want to get back into or get into like listing eBay stuff, or when you start to do it full time, um, I think that's the move for you to just thrift all the time,
yeah.
just stock up, and then at nighttime you and Destiny just get in there and
Just list.
knock them out.
Yeah.
Well, tell Destiny I said congratulations on that sale. That's awesome.
Yeah, she went nuts. She was like, "Joey, I just sold it." I'm like, "No way. Like, that's
No,
insane." Like, it was like 30 minutes. I'm not even kidding. Maybe
yeah,
under that. Like, that's the best feeling ever, man. It's
yeah,
just
it
selling
really
something
is.
like that.
All right, boys. Well, we are just over an hour. I had a blast. I had an absolute blast with you guys. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Triple Thrift Podcast. Guys, if you're listening to this and you are not yet subscribed to our YouTube channel, also known as Triple Thrift Podcast, go over there and subscribe. I think we're close to like 700 subscribers. I think
Nice.
maybe one of these days we can get to 1,000 and then have 4,000 hours of watch time and then get monetized, because so far we've made a whopping $0 from this podcast. Well, I guess we've made like connections
Yeah.
with our audience, which is invaluable.
Yes.
But as far as doll hairs, we have made zero. But that's okay, because I don't think we ever really expected to make any money with this
No.
podcast anyway. It
This
was
was a
just,
fun thing for us to hang out, talk to each other,
yeah,
and share it with you guys.
yeah, 100%. But
Well, see ya.